Honourable Minister of... Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I am tremendously honoured to be standing here with you today. In respect for, great respect for the Indigenous people of this province, I especially want to recognize the people of Treaty 8 on whose traditional territory my riding of Lesser Slave Lake exists. So with that, Tanse, Miokisagao, No Tawinan, Kisimanatu, Nanaskmwen, Kakiao, which we all have the translation there for. To the people of Lesser Slave Lake, I give my deepest, most heartfelt thanks for choosing me to represent them in this honourable assembly. It is my greatest honour to work hard for them every day to ensure that their best interests and the best interests of all Albertans are reflected in the decisions this government makes. I would like to take a moment to share with you a little bit about where I come from and how I came to be brought here in this great place. From the time I was a young child growing up in Slave Lake, my parents, who are here in the gallery, made it very clear to me that not everyone was as blessed as we were. I had loving parents who made sure I had food to eat. I had a safe home to sleep in. I had clean and, quite frankly, nice clothes in which to wear. They had faith in me, they supported me, they encouraged me to pursue my education and to become whatever I wanted to be. And let it be clear, I always knew that that was special and that not everybody had that, and that was an opportunity for which I could never take for granted. I was raised to know that not everyone was as lucky as we were, and that it was our obligation to take care of those in need. I was also taught that if you see something that needs doing, you just do it yourself, not expecting others to take care of it for you. I watched my parents live this and then followed suit myself as they quietly provided support to those in poverty, to the homeless in our community, to the elderly who lived in our community and in our neighborhood as well. Not only did my family personally help those vulnerable people locally and beyond, but never did I fail to recognize the role our government had to take care of them as well. We understood it to be a shared responsibility. And Madam Speaker, in my home, paying taxes was a privilege and not a four-letter word. In my later years of high school and throughout my time in university, I had several other great influences as well. I participated in the Texas Youth Parliament, of which the member from Lloydminster, Vermilion, also did as well. I fell in love with the parliamentary process while there, and I reveled in the chance to discuss key social issues. And I have to say, I even had 1 year as Premier in which I got to sit in this great room as well. Spending time with young Albertans from across the province with varied perspectives, many who are amazing friends to this day, and they helped me grow as an individual. My career as a nurse furthered my vision and understanding of what caring for our vulnerable meant. My understanding of population health made it clear to me that factors such as education, income, discrimination, housing, and the environment often have a much greater impact on health than our healthcare system actually does. I began to see the systemic issues that needed to be challenged. One organization I saw strongly advocating for improvement of our healthcare system and improved health outcomes for Albertans was the United Nurses of Alberta. I then became president of UNA Local 315 and became actively engaged in the work within the labour movement to improve the equality of all Albertans. Being a part of UNA was very empowering and eye-opening, and I'm still very proud to call those men and women sisters and brothers. Over my first 17 years as a nurse, I became more and more disturbed by the systemic issues I saw, especially by the failure of our society to take care of our elders, for whom I had been given great respect. The straw that pushed me over and led me to this place here was listening to my colleagues who worked as nurses cry in moral distress over their inability to work in the system to take care of the needs of the people they were responsible for. And Madam Speaker, that is why I chose to run for Alberta's NDP in the 2015 election. I owe a huge thanks to those who helped me get here today, several who are here with us. Again, I mentioned in my introductions Chris Brown, who worked so hard as my campaign manager, tirelessly pulling it all together so I could focus on being a candidate. Sean Woodard, who again traveled many times to help me around and has always been a great friend, along with his wife Sandra. There were so many that helped up. I cannot name them all, but a quick shout out to Nicola, Len, Gail, and Phil, and others. And of course, always my greatest fans, my parents. And then, of course, there are the more passive supporters who were my children, aged 16, 13, and 6, who always and forevermore deserve my thanks for their patience as they share their mother's time with the people of this great province. Now, on that note, I want to take some time to talk about the amazing constituency of Lesser Slave Lake. I have to say, Lesser Slave Lake was an amazing place to grow up, as I'm sure the Honourable Minister of Health can agree, and continues to be an amazing place to live, work, and raise my children. Covering a vast portion of central northern Alberta, it is incredibly diverse in its landscape, in its industry, and in its people. I am proud to share the territory with 12 different Treaty 8 First Nations and 3 Métis settlements. Communities that are rich with culture, face significant challenges, many due, of course, to the legacy of residential schools, but are filled with strong, resilient, welcoming people. I have been humbled by their faith in our government to form a new relationship and to deal with the substantial concerns that exist, and I look forward to making continuous progress on this as a government. Lesser Slave Lake's communities are home to so many strong and resilient people, from Banana Belt to Smith, from Foss to Red Earth Creek, and the generous, caring people I serve successfully deal with the challenges that living in Northern Alberta present, from isolated communities, and of course dealing with fires and floods and droughts, and they have tirelessly worked to make our northern area grow and prosper. They took on the challenge to settle in the north and have developed thriving agriculture, forestry, and oil and gas industry. Never afraid to take on new challenges, the amazing people in my riding continue to innovate and develop new and better ways of doing things. For example, we are home to the Friends of Historical Northern Alberta Society, the innovative not-for-profit group that is creating the online self-guided tour of Northern Alberta to preserve history and promote tourism. And the forestry industry that has such a strong presence in my riding that is focused on always doing things in new and better ways. For example, Slave Lake Pulp is in the final stages of their biomethanation project, a unique project in the world which converts pulp mill effluent into electrical power through anaerobic digestion. This on-budget project uses Canadian technology and is only one small piece of the renewable energy projects happening throughout the forestry industry in our province. We also are home to the Northern Lakes College. It's centered in my riding, which has taken on the challenge of offering innovative post-secondary education programs to meet the needs of the northern community it serves. A model very different from other colleges. It addresses the isolation of many northern communities for whom leaving the community is not an option, and have taken distance education to a new level in many ways. And I'm very proud of that organization, and I'm happy to support the Minister in Advanced Education with the ongoing support. I'm also proud of the innovative healthcare solutions being developed for rural Alberta and piloted in Lesser Slave Lake. Our primary care centre in Slave Lake offers truly collaborative care with physicians, nurse practitioners, nurses, social workers, chronic disease management specialists, physiotherapists, and a whole host of other health practitioners co-located to offer comprehensive care, truly modeling the right provider in the right place at the right time. This model has not only allowed the same-day access to primary care, but has also greatly facilitated staff recruitment, such a huge issue in rural Alberta to which we are tremendously responsive to, and has resulted in cost saving for Albertans. And then oil and gas, absolutely is such a core part of our riding, and obviously we've been impacted by that. But they are ready to take on the challenges. For example, CNRL's Pelican Lake Field hosts a leading-edge polymer flood, one of the largest in the world. This advanced, enhanced oil recovery technique has garnered them international attention as it dramatically increased the life of the field, so it will continue to generate both jobs and revenue for Albertans for the long term. I'm so proud of the Albertans that live in my riding for bringing this amazing project forward. Lesser Slave Lake obviously is threaded through with many beautiful lakes and rivers, fishing, camping, and glorious beaches close to home. While residents and guests can take advantage of the modern conveniences of our communities, they are always only about 5 minutes away from the rivers and trails that are amazing. Rich in culture, we have live music, powwows, rodeos, theater productions, round dances, and a rich history we share in our museums. Madam Speaker, there is so much to offer in Lesser Slave Lake. It is my greatest wish that all of you come to discover at some point this unexplored diamond in northern Alberta, and I look forward to hosting all of you there at some point. And thanks again for allowing me this opportunity to share about the amazing riches that Lesser Slave Lake has to offer, and hi.